Welcome to the French Newfie. I'm Erin MacDonald. Today I'm going to make for you dim sum, a type of dim sum, shumai to be exact. And I know it might sound intimidating, and I thought it was intimidating as well. I used to actually buy these, and I'm not going to name the name of these shumai that are prepackaged and frozen, and they sit in the grocery store. And by the time you get them home, when you thaw them and then you put them into your steam bamboo, it just comes out like pudding. The wrapper falls apart. It's not pleasurable. So I thought it can't be that difficult to make, and it really isn't. You just got to try and go at things like that in your kitchen, and I have a really nice recipe for you. So I have a shallow bit of water going down in my pot, and it's boiling, and I did it shallow because it's going to obviously come to a boil faster if there's less water into your pot. Now, classic shumai usually has like pork, and I believe it has some shrimp into it, but I'm actually going to make chicken shumai. So I have ground chicken over here with a little bit of olive oil, and that's just off to the side because I'm going to add some vegetables. I'm going to add some scallion, and scallion's really nice, and a mild onion. I'm just going to get the bottom off and just chop some of that scallion down, just like this. Nice chops. It's all going to mix in really well. I know Keith and I really enjoy having this shumai for a nice appetizer. We don't eat dinner typically till around 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So when he gets off work, it's really nice to have an appetizer to tie us over until dinner time. And these are great. And you can also freeze them, and you don't have to have something in your freezer that you didn't make. You actually made them yourself, and they store quite well. Another ingredient that I'm going to use is bok choy, and bok choy is very popular in Asian cooking. So I've just washed it because there can tend to be some dirt and some sand down in between the little leaves. So again, I'm just making a small portion of the shumai today, so I only have one. If you wanted to make a nice big batch and freeze it, obviously you increase your order or your measurements of what you're going to use. So now again, just some nice chops of the bok choy down, and you want to get the leaves in there too. There's lots of goodness and nice green healthy color into those leaves, so get some of that down as well. And there's quite a bit there, so I'm just going to use a little bit like that. My water is starting to boil, so that's perfect, and get that off to the side. And now we're going to go in with some ginger, and I really love ginger. It's so aromatic, and it's got a little spicy kick, and you know, everyone knows I like a lot of heat, but ginger's really classic in a lot of these dim sums and shumai. So I'm just going to take a little bit, take the corners of it off. And ginger also stores really, really well in the freezer. So you can store it in your freezer for up to almost 2 months before it starts to dry out, which is really great. So I'm going to get some nice chops of the ginger down. You can smell it. I really love ginger a lot, especially in Asian cooking and stir fries and so forth like that. So just get some nice ginger down. Cut all of that up. Try and get it a little bit small because you don't want to bite into a really big piece of ginger. It is quite spicy, and not everyone is as much of a fan of heat as I am. Get some nice chops down so it's nice and finely minced. And we're going to get that into our minced chicken and bok choy and green scallion. Now we're going to move on to some seasoning, and you want it to have lots of flavor. It's going to be one pop into your mouth. So we're going to go in with some salt. There's no seasoning in here at all. Everything's very bland. So get a good amount of salt, a nice pinch, depending on how much you have in your bowl. And then I'm going to go in with some white pepper, and I prefer to use white pepper because it's used a lot in Asian cooking rather than the black pepper. So get some white down into there. I'm going to go on with a little bit of soy sauce, and again, soy sauce in Asian cooking just kind of goes hand in hand. Let's get a little bit of that down, about a tablespoon I'm putting in, and I'm going to mix it all up. So you have the salt, and you have the white pepper, sorry. You have some soy sauce. There you go. And lastly, I'm going to go in with some sesame oil. There's a few things going on, but it's going to be so flavorful, and you can make big batches, like I said. So these are really, really great to make at home, and then you know exactly what's going in to everything. And there we go. Mix it around. Now my water is boiling, and that's perfect. And this is all mixed up so that it's like a paste right now, but everything is mixed up, so that's perfect. Just put that there for a minute, and I'm going to move on to my little dumplings. So you can buy these in the grocery store, which is perfect because I don't like to bake. I don't like flour and water and getting a big mess in the kitchen, so it's wonderful that you can buy these already done for you. So I have the nice wrappers, wonton wrappers, and they're very, very thin. I just want to pull it out just a tiny little bit, but be careful not to puncture it. You want them to stay together. And then I'm going to wet around the rim of it. So you wet it around, and that'll help it obviously stick together and the contents stay inside, just like that. Now you want to go in with your mixture of chicken and bok choy and green scallions. And you have the sesame oil, and you have the soy sauce, the white pepper, and of course a little bit of salt. So then you want to just push it together like this and kind of bring it up. And shumai is a classic open-faced dumpling, so you don't have to worry about getting it all together, but you do want to push it up and then kind of flatten it out just like that. And there you've made your own shumai, chicken shumai. So how you want to line your bamboo basket is with some lettuce leaves. Some people like to use cabbage. I'm sure everyone has their own method. I just took some nice romaine that I had left over in the refrigerator and cut it so that way it can hold the shumai, each individual piece. And then it's not going to stick. So the shumai is not going to stick to the basket because that would be terrible. So you're going to get some of these down. I'm going to do just a couple more, and I'm going to show you another method. So let me just put this here for 1 minute, and we're going to move on to another one. So again, just kind of stretch it out a little bit, just a little bit. Be careful not to puncture. Add a little bit of water around the rim, just like that. And then get a little bit more of that beautiful mixture. And you can smell the sesame oil. It's really beautiful. And the ginger, it's so fragrant. I really love these aromatics. And I'm really happy that now I can make them on my own. And they're much better when they're fresh and they're not falling apart. There's another one that's really pretty and really delicate. There's another one. And now I'm going to show you the other method that is typically used for what's called hargao. And hargao is made with a shrimp mixture. If you want to try that one with shrimp, I mean, you can really put anything you want into here. You could even make like lamb would be nice. I mean, if you want to do a Greek twist, these little wrappers are wonderful. So you want to get into the kitchen and experiment, why not? Put your own filling in. So a little bit like this, down into the center, and this is going to be the other one I want to show you. I said typically it's a shrimp hargao. So you fold it over, just like that, and crimp it together, and go all the way around. And then you want to push them together. So you're using your thumb and kind of gathering it like this. You're pushing it all the way, just like that, and meet together in the middle. And then you have a pretty little hargao. And this one's closed, but again, it's a chicken hargao, so it's my own variation. And now I'm going to bring this up. My water is boiling. I'm going to put it onto the nice romaine lettuce leaves. So you plop one down. It's really cute. And I think, I know, it's a lot prettier than the store-bought ones. So there you go. And put that down inside. Really pretty, very simple. And I'm going to get it onto the boiling water, onto my boiling water in my pot. And I'm going to cover the lid. I'm going to make a quick little soy sauce, a little dipping sauce. So I'm taking some more soy sauce, dark soy sauce, and put that down into the bowl. And then again, I like a lot of heat. And this is a sambal, which is not too spicy actually, for those people that are trying to slowly get their tolerance up for spicy food. The sambal is a really, really nice hot sauce. It's more garlic than anything in there. So mix that around, really, really nice. The soy sauce, and then you have the salty. And lastly, just a tiny little bit of rice wine vinegar, just a little bit. like, there you go. And that sauce is ready to go for my delicious shumai that are gonna be ready in around 5 minutes. I'm gonna show you when we come back, and I'm also gonna pair it, of course, with a nice beverage to wash it all down with. And so that went for exactly 6 minutes, and now it's time to take it off. It was boiling, so they're nice and steamed up, and I have this beautiful little sauce that I made. While I let the cover, I'm gonna take the cover off and just get it down here so it might be a little bit easier for you to see. Really, really pretty. And as you saw, it took me no time at all to whip that together. So they're not as intimidating as one may think. There they are, very beautiful. I'm gonna get one onto a plate in just a second. First, I'm gonna show you my pairing. And because it's Asian and we're doing the dim sum, I'm gonna go in with a nice dry beer, Asahi. So, and I know it's that dry because it says dry. No, not really actually. I used to drink Asahi quite a bit, and I still do, when I go to out for sushi, when I have sushi night. I really enjoy a nice dry beer with my sushi. And also with dim sum. So there you go. Let me get that down into a nice glass. Really nice dry beer. It just goes really, really well with seafood, sushi, dim sum, and of course, chicken shumai. Perfect. So there we go, little dumplings. They're not stuck to the bottom. There might be a little bit of the lettuce on it, but it won't be too difficult. Not as difficult as if you had it without the lettuce on the plate. So there you go, beautiful little dim sum, little shumai, very easy to make, full of flavor. It's still steaming, so I'm not gonna burn myself here in front of you, but I am gonna enjoy it afterwards and finish making some more that I can freeze up. So I really hope that you give my chicken shumai a try. Enjoy.